Where's my lip oil? Today we are going to be talking about the 18 palettes I used last month. Excuse me. And I received a friend mail box today, so we're going to open that and take a look at that. And I am excited to have it, and it will most definitely be used. I'm going to do the intro really quick. For those who may watch the replay who are new here, hello and welcome. My name is Dion. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. Why do I call it that? Crazy concept. Hey Janet, just be your authentic self in a world where people will tell you who and how you should be. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you have to use a certain brand, a certain tool, or a certain technique. Hey Tanya, just use whatever you want to use, however you want to use it to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. I don't know about anywhere else on these YouTube streets. Yes, I said streets. But here at the Crazy Troll Nation, we believe in self-acceptance and self-love, embracing our natural features, enhancing them if we want to, when we want to, and never feeling like we have to. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint. I'm looking at myself, and I do think my dark discoloration is getting a little bit evened out. This is my darkest patch. I look good. As all of us trolls do. So we're going to open this box first. This was from one of my official troll kin, and tracking said it would be here tomorrow. It came today, so I was like, oh. And so I was excited because I said I can show this in the live tonight. Our next live is Thursday. I have an appointment. Tuna salad, tortilla chips, and strawberries. Oh, that does sound refreshing. I'm going to make tuna macaroni salad later because, y'all, it is hot here. Y'all, I keep telling y'all, in my mind, we go from like winter straight to summer. Like spring has been getting shorter and shorter for like the past decade. The other day, it was like the upper 50s. Today was 80 outside. I'm like, excuse me? And my thermostat inside read 75, but then I opened my balcony door and then went up to 77 inside. I do have the fan over by the balcony door on. I have this one plugged in, for which I have a remote if I start sweating, because it was warm. Just like, 85 in your office today. I'm just like, what is going on? And people who don't believe in global warming or whatever, like, you can't feel the differences in the seasons. Like, we don't have, I'm in Delaware, we don't have 4 seasons anymore. Winter is just blending into spring. Some more gems, because I know I be using these gems, even though they be popping off my face, and I'll be finding them on the carpet and on my clothes for weeks. So thank you very much for the gems. And these are the iridescent ones. You see those colors? Ooh, prismatic. I like those. They will get used for sure. The other thing, oh, I didn't know this wasn't going to be in here. Soft Kiss cream lipstick. Did I know this was going to be in here? This is very cute packaging. Ooh. What does that say? Am I seeing things? 24-month PAO. I love long PAOs. Y'all know that. The shade is, oh, black number 1. You know what? I do remember. When I saw black, close me to 40 tomorrow. Mother Nature is definitely bipolar. The brand is, I don't know what the name of the brand is. I don't know. It's MVND, I think. I don't know. But it's in one of these. And y'all know I don't prefer liquid lipsticks, but if it's a black, I will wear a bullet. So this, this is what this looks like. I'm curious to put this on right now. I think I will. So the last thing that's in here is a water-activated paint palette that I was asked if I would like to have, because they used it a few times and didn't use it after that. And like me, they want stuff to be used. And I was like, sure. And what was ironic about that is I had been thinking of which Mayron water-activated palette to just use for myself, so I won't have to, okay, let me sanitize it, let me sanitize it, let me sanitize it, let me sanitize it, leave it open overnight after I spray it to make sure it dries, because if you close it up and it's still damp, that can, you know, encourage mold. And so, yeah, so a few days before this person asked me if I wanted this, I was really thinking, like, which Mayron palette do I want to just keep for me? And so this was really, I'm dropping the tissue paper, excuse me. So it was really like a really on time question. And this is the same brand as the lipstick. It says Candy Paint Artistry Palette. This is really kind of cool. There's no information on here as far as PAO or anything, but this is what it looks like. Hey, Janessa, hot cakes, hot stuff. This is really cute. Do these come out? No, they don't. So this is what this palette looks like. I was seeing if like this, oh, it does. Oh, when I was moving this one, it didn't come out. Okay, okay. Okay, wait. All right, wait a minute. Yeah, I just popped one out, and I'm trying to pop it back in. Oh, shoot. This will be fun, especially if I'm doing like detailed designs, because versus the pans, I can't just say, okay, unless I just mix all the colors. But if I'm doing like my whole face, like we did for that green gem look, but this will be really cool for just using different colors to do detailed designs on my face. And I got the orange on my finger. Okay, I guess that'll come off later. But this is really cute. This is really cute. I like this. Thank you so much. This is really, really cute. So this is going to stay here at my station. Did I just cut your whiff? No. I don't know what's happening to me. We're going to take some of this off the beauty oil that I just put on, because we're going to put this lipstick on, and then we're going to get into the 18 palettes that I used last month. I feel like I remember when I was away over the weekend that I went through my calendar and either typed out or wrote down the palettes that I used last month, and then I couldn't find it, so I had to go through my calendar again today, like 15 minutes ago, to find what to see. So I have that stack over here. We're going to use the MAC lip liner. This is in Caviar. And then we're going to put on a lipstick. I can almost imagine now somebody's going to come in and say, why are you wearing black lipstick? And I'll be like, easy question, because I want to wear black lipstick. Like the other day, somebody said, why did I cut my hair short? I said, because I wanted to. I'm like, that was a really easy question. I was just like, okay, that was super easy. I'm creating a peak by accident that I don't have. So I don't know if they were trying to take a dig or what. And y'all know I don't really care. Ask me the easy questions all day long. Y'all, Scandinavia on Instagram, I got upset. It was a 4-slide thing they did. And the first one says, it's official, we're closing. Y'all know I love me some Scandinavian sprays. And my first thought was, after all of that stuff with Urban Decay, now they closing? And my second thought was, shit, I need to order a bunch of their sprays. And something was like, just go ahead and just see what the other slides say. Because it said like slide or arrow for, you know, details, whatever. And then it said, we're officially closing for Wednesday, April 1st for our luncheon or something. Yo, I was so pissed. I was really like legit mad. Even though it's only a makeup spray, but I was just like, don't do that. And so I went to the comment section, and some people were like, oh, you had me, blah, blah, blah. Somebody else was mad, was saying they were mad. And then their second thought was they're going to order 50 bottles. And then some people were like, ha, 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 it's not even the first yet. But some people were like legit upset. And I didn't leave a comment because I was legit upset. And I'm like, it's only a makeup spray. But y'all, I was just like, don't, and I'm like, don't do that. So I do have an appointment at the VA hospital tomorrow. And I'm going to talk to as few people as possible. And I understand April Fool's supposed to be fun, you know, all of that. But you know what? I don't want to play these games. I just don't. And so I just don't. Because it's like, why? Like, what? It's fun for the people doing the tricks and stuff, but it's not fun for me. I'm looking for, where the hell is my sharpener? It lives right here. Where would I have put it? I don't know. But I will find it. It is so weird to me when I can't find stuff when I know where it usually is. Okay, let me just put on this lipstick. And so I forgot too, but I was legit mad. Like, don't be playing with my emotions like that. Do not do that. Let me move the mirror closer instead of me leaning all in your face. This feels creamy. My trouble with bullet lipsticks is getting my bottom lip, because then I end up like way down here. And I see people that just do this, but I'm like, I struggle to just get it on my lip. And so I usually end up just using the pointy side, you know, to do this. And I see people do bullet lipsticks. They just do it. I'm like, that's because it's black, Tanya. They were like, I know you don't use bullet lipstick, but I have black one. I'm like, I'll take it. They never used it. They have other black lipsticks they use. But yeah, it's black. I'll use it. And maybe because I'm so used to liquid lipsticks, it is creamy. And maybe because I'm used to liquid lipsticks, like I just have trouble using this part for down here. And I do see people with lips thinner than mine that use this, they use it like that. And I'm like, how do they not just get it just on their lips? Because I'll have it like all the way down here. And so I always end up using the pointy side to do that. I don't think it's metallic. I think it's not a matte for sure. It might just be a cream. I like it. I now like black lipsticks. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for this lipstick. And the period was 24 months, which is awesome. So let's get into these palettes that we used last month. Hey, Lock, thank you. Someone gifted me a bullet lipstick, but you know I don't prefer. But when they said it's black, I'm like, I'll take it. So I just put this on. I did line my lips with the MAC Caviar lip pencil first, and then I put this on because I will use a black bullet lipstick. Am I missing anyone? Yeah, y'all came in at the right time. So we're gonna get into these palettes. I have them in just like size order, because some are really small like this, and then some are the MAC BYOPs. I do feel really good. I think I'm down to 41 again, and I'm feeling really good about that. So we are going to just start from the top and work our way down. And I remember asking before, like, if y'all wanted me to still keep doing roundups, because I'm down to like 40 palettes. If I use a palette a day, which I don't, or even if I pair palettes, it is likely I'll get through. Like, this is half of my stash. These 18 palettes is half of my stash. And the consensus was, yeah, still do it, because I love hearing about, you know, eyeshadow palettes. And so, but deep down, I still keep wondering, like, okay, when is this going to get boring? Because every other month is the same palettes. So we have our Pat McGrath Lab Gilded Nirvana Mega Eyeshadow Palette. This ain't mega, y'all. This is the size of my hand. This isn't mega, but it's pretty. And if I'm not mistaken, we used this purple to layer over something that we did. I want to say it was the Circle Local palette, but I am not sure. And it did actually make a difference topping this over that. And I'm not in the habit of topping shadows. And so I'm like, you know what? Let me just see what's up with this. And it did make a difference. And this formula I love. Y'all see the dips in it? It's not that I used it a lot. It's that these are creamy. And this is the Quint formula that I love, that some people hate it because they're not like, oh, they're not as shiny and sparkly as the other ones. it's preference. But this formula I really do love from the quints, and there's at least 4 shades in here that are from the different quints. This is a dual chrome because I'm seeing some greenish brown in here, and then I'm seeing gold. These two for sure were in the same quint. This one was in another quint, and I forget what else. But I remember really liking the formula. So this is all of these are keepers. All of these are keepers. My official, unofficial troll play palette from Makeup by Mario, Moonlight, well, Ethereal Moonlight palette. Y'all, look at this hole in there. Y'all know I like black. See the connection? And these are kind of creamy as well. The metallics in here, and I do because you can see the dips in them. And again, not because I use them a lot, but because they are soft. And I really like that, and they're not super messy. The mattes in here are phenomenal. Like this one barely shows, but this one does show more than this one. This one is just like, girl, where you at? But that's fine for me if I just want to, just put it here to remove some of the dead space or whatever. Anybody getting a re-release ethereal palette? I am not, because it ain't going to show up on me. I mean, the shimmery shades, the metallic shades will, just because they're shiny. But no, it is really pretty though. I was looking at it like, girl, you know you have no use for that. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. It is a gorgeous palette though. It is a gorgeous palette. But for me, it'll just, yo, why my mustache showing off? And I keep looking in the mirror. Like, is there even hair there? There is no hair there. Like, why? What was up? Why? Are you getting it, Tanya? So this, all of these are keepers, as they said, but this, I really enjoy this palette. The only thing is, and it's weird, this shade and this shade, they look different, right? This shade and this one, they show up exactly the same on me. I was surprised. I'm like, but they look different. This one and this one, you would think maybe these two, right? No. This one and this one show up the exact same way on me. And I think it's weird because they don't look the same at all. But we know that that's a keeper. Nope, the only column that looks promising for me is the last column. Yeah. I saw it on eBay for, what? $135? But now that it's coming back out, they went down to $99. What are they smoking? Who want to buy it now for that price? I hear you. Oh, hey, Alexandria. Excuse me. That's like people who sell palettes that are still available for 4 times the price. And you know what? I do have, yeah, Michelle. I do use this quite a bit when I'm doing troll play looks. But that time I hit a hole, I'm like, what? I wasn't surprised though. Wasn't the way I was. I'm always surprised when I pan stuff because I never pan eyeshadows. Like I just don't. So yeah, that did surprise me. How you doing tonight, Michelle? I have, hey Kathy, how are you? We're talking about the palettes that I used last month. Someone gifted me, my favorite lip color is black. They gifted me this lipstick, and so I lined my lips with the MAC Caviar, which is a black lip liner, and then I put this on because I love black lipstick. So seems to be moving though. It is creamy. I do have in my, hey, Grace, I have in my Macari store the Petalmorphosis palette, the purple packaging, the lavender packaging. And I did price it high, but not gouging, not like, $400 or nothing like that. I think it's like 2 something, like maybe 220 or whatever. But I do keep checking the Pat McGrath website because I'm like, if it becomes available on the Pat website, I'll just deactivate the listing until it's not there anymore. You know what I'm saying? And so I do keep an eye on stuff that may come back, and yeah, because that would make sense. Because it would be like, who want to buy this when they can get it from the place? How about, what are you? And why are you here? I forgot to say 2 things after I did my intro. One is I curse sometimes because I curse. So thank you for reminding me, Serena, about that. And like seriously, and the other thing is there's an organism named Bruce that lives in my throat that likes to randomly hiccup, gurgle, and belch in videos and in particular in live streams. And I try to be aware of him to say, excuse me, thank you for the hearts. And so Hello. I don't want to mispronounce your name. This is it. You're in the right place. Thank you for being here. New people, make sure y'all subscribe and click the notification bell because I do live streams at least 3 times a week. And I have videos that go up on days we don't do live streams. So subscribe, click the thumbs up button, and consider joining the membership. This here, I don't know if the mini Zendo is limited edition, Tanya, and I decluttered it because I realized I don't gravitate towards quints, and maybe because I like to put on so many eyeshadows, like I don't know. But I did used to pull it for, like I do for this one, for a black or a gray. But then I have other blacks and grays, and so you need a smoky palette, but may get the ColourPop blowing smoke instead. Bog Witch, y'all know when I saw this, I'm like, I'm getting it. YT has been so weird for me. It makes me renew my membership every. What? Thank you, Grace. Oh, she sent me sparkles. This lipstick is moving because I'm looking at, like, as I'm talking, like in here, the interior of my lip is wearing off. So what I'm gonna have to do, or what I will do, is completely fill in my lips after I line it. What is this? So that way when it starts to fade or it moves, it'll still be the same color. Because in here it is wearing off. What do you all talk about? We talk about whatever y'all talk about. I mean, I have an agenda, but I do, as you see, read comments and respond to comments. But the main purpose of this, I don't know if you saw the title before you clicked on it, but we're talking about the 18 palettes I used last month. And I did open up Femme in the beginning. So roll back around and watch the replay to see what that is. So yeah, we talk about everything here. Yeah, and then you'll never get, what? Oh, for Michelle, yeah, that's right. You won't get the longevity badges. That is so weird, it's making you do that. I would look into your payment method and see, like, because nobody else does that I'm aware of. Oh, you're welcome, Kathy. Bog Witch, I already knew. Y'all, they have a palette out. It just came out. And when I saw it, I was like, ooh. But then it has like 2 or 3 reds in it. And I'm like, sometimes different reds show up the same on me. But it was something about it. It was something about it. My bag is like, how y'all doing today? It was something about that palette. I know my face features, except when I have freckles. Like, I didn't know I had a freckle here until like a week ago. But anyway, I was just like, ooh. So it may or may not be coming. So Bog Witch, I know I was getting it because I know I like grunge, I know I like goth. And this palette, y'all. What I don't know is why this one looks janky, like around the edges. This shade up here. It looks like it wants to pop out the pan, but it's not. And again, the formula in this palette, they are soft. You see these dips in here? That's because the shadows are soft and they're creamy, and I love it. I love this formula because some of their palettes, they have the chunky monkeys, the flaky shimmer shades, and I'm like, yeah, but I don't like messy shadows. You know what I'm saying? But this formula, the same as another palette from them that we're going to talk about, that just has this smooth ass formula, and I just love it. So we did use this last month. While I was away, or you'll see it because I did do videos while I was away. We also used, I just felt the pain behind my eye. We did use both of our MAC connecting color palettes. There is a third one. I haven't used that in a while. It seems like you're never a dull moment here, Kathy says Alexandria. This is the Hi-Fi color palette. What was weird about this is, I do recommend these, especially from Ulta when they have a 20% off that includes Prestige. I do have a lot of links and some codes down below. You don't have a channel? Well, that's okay. You can be here and hang out with us. I don't have the difficulty with the wear, but I still, but I make sure my lips are very dry before I apply. It does dry down a bit to where it doesn't move anymore. I just use a lip liner. That's probably because I did have that oil on. But y'all know I gotta put on lip oil, even if I wipe some off later. Yeah, it's wearing off more and more, like in the interior. So I'll just line the whole thing and fill it in, and it should be okay. I used to be a chapstick hoe, as y'all know. But when I tried this, y'all, I held on to them chapsticks, and then they ended up getting decluttered one by one. It's been about this lip oil. Yeah. Yes, we do like to support each other, says Tanya. So what was weird about this? Since I first had it, chrome yellow would not pick up on a brush, would not lay down on my lid. I used lipstick applicator. Let me just see if I can get some of the color up. It would not, it just was not working. Hey, Eden! How are you? What time is it over there? I forget how many hours ahead you are. For those who don't know, Eden is in New Zealand. And one of the things I love, even though there's a lot of things about social media stuff and platforms that I dislike, one of the things I do love is we can be here at the same time in the same place, but yet we're in different times and in different places. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of trippy, right? Yeah, she's in New Zealand. I'm in Delaware in the United States, but here we are. And I just love seeing her when she pops in, because I keep telling y'all, the Crazy Troll Nation is worldwide, baby cakes. Okay, you're in Washington. Michelle, is that where you're at? I'm having a brain fart. You're in Australia at the moment, in Queensland. Oh man, it's 10:26 a.m. on Wednesday. In New Zealand, it would be 1:26 p.m. Wednesday. Yeah, and it's like what, going on 9:30 at night on Tuesday. It is trippy, but I love it. Tanya's in Michigan. Yeah, yo, we are all over the United States and worldwide. I was in Janessa's live. I was in a wake up and I saw she was live, and it was somebody in there that was from, damn, where were they from, Janessa? I want to say Germany. Yeah, Michelle is in Seattle. Yeah, we are all over, y'all. So this shade would never work for me. Germany, thank you, Tanya. You like this channel? You're all so sweet. You caught me on a good day. Because sometimes we get the now. So troll here is a good thing. That means we accept ourselves, we love ourselves, regardless of what we wear. And when we wear stuff, we wear what we want to, and we just rock it. So here, a troll is a good thing. But sometimes we get some not so good trolls, and there's times when I feel like playing along, and I go gutter and be cursing people. But this has been a good live so far. Yeah, Janessa says, "Excuse me for smacking." They were in Germany, and I'm just like, what? Wow. So this would never has never worked for me. And then the last time I used it, it did. And I think I don't know if I took a lipstick applicator or a spoolie or something, and then, because then that'll, flake it up, and then I put the brush in it, and ever since then it's been working fine. So like all of these years, well, probably a good year and a half, that I had this never worked for me. And I also had used, I'm pretty sure it was the E45 from Sigma, and I just put it straight in and swirled it to get it on the tip and put it right here. It showed up perfect. And I'm like, what? And I was shocked, because this would never work for me. But the last time I used it, it really worked for me. I understand the protective coating, Tanya, but when did I open this? Because y'all know. Hi, my name is Dion. I'm a label hoe. This says I opened this, damn, July 13th, 2023. So 24, 25, 26, July will be 3 years. This just worked for me last month. So what the hell kind of protective coating doesn't, will make it not work for 2.5 years, almost 3 years. What? But I was glad. But I was just like, okay, that's what, y'all, I'm starting to sweat. I'm gonna turn this fan on. I apologize if y'all hear it. I am sweating. Look at this. Yeah, that was a hell of a protective coating. Usually once or twice, or when I keep, swirling and brushing it, it'll break through the coating. But 2.5 years, and it just now starts working. Oh, that fan feels good when it oscillates my way. That's like when I get a new car. I only figure out the bells and whistles when it's time to turn it in. I know. My SUV, I have a Ford Escape. If there's gadgets to like switch the gears, and it's on the, like, this side is the windshield wiper, this side it's something else, but on the back side of it is ribbed, and I have a thing with texture, and it's only about this big of a space, but when I'm holding the steering wheel a certain way, I'll end up just like rubbing my hands along the texture, and then it switched over into a gear, and I'm like, oh shit, how I get it to go back? Like, what do I need to push? What? And so I just kept clicking stuff. And it finally went back to where it was. And I'm like, I need to read the manual. So I guess you can go off road with it or whatever. But yeah, I clicked it by mistake. And my previous partner, when he was driving one time, it switched on him because he was doing the same thing with the texture. And he's like, oh, how do I put it back? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, just keep clicking and see if it goes back to where it was. But yeah, if I don't have a need for a feature, like I don't even, it took me like 4 months to learn how to get the back windshield wiper fluid to come out. So it's like a certain way. If you pull the handle towards you, it releases the windshield wiper fluid for the front, the windshield. But then it's a different one or a different way you go for the back. And so I'm be like, okay, I did it by accident one time. And so then when I was trying to do it, I couldn't figure it out. So I'm like, I know it's one of these two gadgets, one of these two levers. And so I did levers or whatever, but I did figure it out. So now I'd be like, okay, I gotta do this. So I still have to think about it though. And I bought that in 2017, September 2017. So I do recommend the Connecting Color. There's 3 of them. The third one is Unfiltered Nudes, which I just like the formula of these, and they work. You're not going to get the shimmer, shimmer, high shine, but you will get consistency. You will get shadows that aren't messy, and you're going to get one with colors that show up, even if Chrome Yellow takes 2.5 years to do so. But this is Future Flames. And another reason, the packaging is really nice, too. And y'all know Morphe tried to copy this with their new 12 pans. So what you see on the front is what you see inside. And I do believe we did a monochromatic look with this, even though you can do a non-chromatic look with this because of the orange tones and the gold. You have these 2 shades over here. This is a nice dark matte shade. And these two, this one and this one, they do show up different on me, which, as I said earlier, a lot of times different shades of red does show up the same. But I did do a monochromatic look with this. I don't know if it was for a collab or for what, I don't know. But I really enjoy these. And when they do die, they are good for at least 30 months. But when they do die, I do really feel like I will repurchase. Oh, that fan feels good when it blows my way. Oh, it's hot in here. It's getting hot in here. I'm not taking off my clothes. I was watching someone, says Michelle, I can't remember who, but she's painting an eyeshadow that's 25 years old. Oh, hell no. Hey, beautiful Joe. Oh, the air pushed a card off of my ponytail. Hell, y'all know my skin ain't built like that to have an eyeshadow that long. Even Natasha's, this 24-month PAO, but around 2.5 years, close to 3 years, is when the formula starts to change, and then some of the formulas will start to irritate my lids. And so even Natasha, like I can have her close to 3 years, and then that's that for that. Spellcast Beauty, which is it's all the same at this point. Notoriously Morbid. Again, I have a 15% code for Notoriously Morbid below, and I keep looking at stuff to get because I have quite a bit of credit, but it's really. So this is really pretty. This is that smooth formula, and you can see the dents from the brushes in it. All of these mattes show up on me really nice. They don't make me look ashy or dusty. Did I just glitch? What is that? Oh, thank you, Kathy. She sent me a floating heart. Thank you. And all of these show up on me real nice. And I was thinking if I wanted to keep this one and Garden Grunge, because the shimmers look similar, but I did it side by side and they're close but not exact, because I don't like to have dupes in my collection, in my stash I should say. But this is definitely a keeper. And when I do want bright shades, I know where to go. This is called Neon Garden, and it is a neon garden. And so I am glad that I have that. Another one from Spellcast Beauty, Notoriously Morbid, Dark Side of the Rainbow. And I used this, I think, twice this month because I took this away with me, and I meant to take Path of the Dark Side, and I took Dark Side of the Rainbow by mistake. And again with them, excuse me, what you see on the front, the same as MAC, you'll see on the inside. I don't know though, because I'm looking at this blue. It ain't no bright blue in here. So I take that back what I said. Where's this bright blue in here? It ain't. But this, my preferred aesthetic, for those who don't know, is goth, grunge, and that type of thing. And I do ethereal looks sometimes, and I do other types of looks sometimes, just to, keep things interesting. Because I used to watch someone, and all she did was grunge looks. This is beautiful, Michelle. Thank you, Eden. Those are the kind of flowers I like, because in person they make me sneeze and make my eyes itch. This is the same formula as the other one. Like, look at this formula. They're not messy. They're smooth. They just go on. They show up. These are nice shades, especially if you like cool tones. I like cools that lean neutral, but with these combinations, it works. I love this palette. I don't use it often because I just don't gravitate towards smaller palettes, but yeah. So she only did grunge looks, but they were all the same except the color. She would always, it was always just a light, it was more goth, I think. It was always a light shade here, and then like she would smoke out the outer corner. And it was all so to me, even though it was different colors, it was all like the same shape, the same design. And so I watched her for a while, and I'm like, this is all the same. And they were pretty looks though. I glitched again. What is happening? And her lip, she would always do an ombre lip. She would take a black lip liner, which y'all know I love a black lip liner, and she would do the edges and then put on like a taupe-ish, grayish bullet lipstick in the middle. But that was her style. That was it. The lip was always the same. The eyeshadow shapes were always the same. And so after a while, I got bored because I already knew what it was going to look like. You know what I mean? And so I think about that sometimes. You know, just do different stuff. Even though I have my preference for sure, still do different stuff because we all do different stuff. And I know my style is not everybody's taste, but I still want people to enjoy being here. You know what I mean? So we use this palette. I'm going to be nice. This is the dramatic palette. This is how you can know the eye sculpt, texture, and tone. I'm laughing because I'm really trying. I'm still learning. This to me looks like it's hard pan, but it's not. And I use it quite often when I pick up this palette because I'm like, let me see, is it hard pan today? But it's not. But this to me is what hard pan usually looks like, but it is not hard pan. This middle row are the metallics, and you can see that they're soft. You see these dips because there's a soft shadow. The mattes in here, y'all, these barely show up on me. Even this one, which is surprising because it looks kind of pinkish. I want to say I have buyer's remorse, but I don't. Because I remember saying, you know, for the last few years or however long, that Biba, along with Circle Loco, was forever going to be in my stash. And when I saw this, I'm like, oh, this will be my new Biba. This is not a new Biba. And they did have some light shades in there too, but not like a whole row and a half a row. You know what I'm saying? And they had that one row was just smoky. It was like a gray, a black, you know, something else. And I do actually miss Biba, but I'm trying to learn to just accept this for what it is. Because I feel like once I accept it for what it is, I will really like it. And that happened to me with a couple other palettes. I'm like, oh my gosh, no, blah, blah, blah. But then I said, you know what? You knew what it looked like before you got it. There was a reason you got it. Stop wishing it was something else and just accept it for what it is. Like how I'm like, we accept our features. I don't like my bag, but I accept it. You know what I'm saying? And so just accept it for what it is. And when I did that, I really started liking that palette. And so I keep saying to myself, just accept it for what it is. It does come in handy for certain types of looks. When I do period looks, whatever decades it was with barely their shadow. This is the palette I picked up because these right here. This, it does not show up dark on me and it looks like it would. I was disappointed, but I'm like, so we'll see how long I keep it. I do really like the middle row. I do like, you know, these two, but then I think like, is it enough? So I will continue to work on accepting it for what it is. And if it becomes that much of a struggle, when Natasha done on the website has the end of year sale, and when like you get good discounts, I will just repurchase Biba. But I am really trying hard to just accept it for what it is. And all the looks I've done with this are pretty. I just thought it was going to be a new Biba. And so I need to get over myself with that. You have been a good girl, says Alexandra, and you have been tracking your eyeshadow usage. That is awesome. Sorry for yelling. It helps encourage me to put it on exactly, and I do. When I do looks for my own purposes, I put down what look number this is, and even when I do the collage picture for my gallery in my phone, I put down the brand, the name of the palette, what look number it is, and the date. And what I started doing also, which may be a cheat, is even if I just pick up a palette for one shade, I will put down that I use that palette. And so every time I dip into only this black, that's another usage for that. And I used to not do that. And somebody's like, but you are still using the palette. And even when I do looks, I don't use an entire palette. You know what I mean? And so I didn't have to, but I switched my thinking on what does usage mean? What does using the palette mean? Because I don't never use an entire palette unless it's a 6 pan or a 9 pan. I will use every shade for a look. But like something like this or with the Mario or something, I might just pick it up and use 1 or 2 shadows. And it does feel good to see the numbers go up. For Circle Loco, this is my second time having it. I think I'm at look 33 with Circle Loco between now and when I had it the first time. And that just, I'm like, and also it helps me see like what I really love. When I had Martine Cosmetics 669, I was up in the 20s with that palette. What I do, oh my gosh, Beauty Bay did reopen their website. I think they changed the name of it or whatever. So I do feel excited and encouraged that they will get Martine 669 back in once, you know, they re-up on everything. Because right now it's just a few things on their website. Of course, the Beauty Bay stuff is on the site. But so I am encouraged, and so I'm still holding out hope. Because quite a few of you like paid into like, here's this money for that palette, and then I couldn't get it. But I'm holding on to hope, and I do feel encouraged that it is going to come back one day. Excuse me for smacking. Alexandra's asking how you're doing, lovely Joe. Yeah, when she came back. Oh, hey, nice start. Maria, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. For some reason, I'm thinking Maria is Nice Star's name. Good to see you. Hello, Julie. And Locke says, you agree a palette can be one shadow. Yeah. And I do know some people who will, like, I don't have an idea of what a look is going to look like unless it's a member request look. Because I have to think about, okay, what am I going to use? Okay, there's Maria. Okay. Yeah, so Nice Star is Maria. And Maria's in another country too. We were talking about that earlier, Maria, that we can be in the same time, in the same place, but we're not physically in the same time or in the same place. And so that just really, I just really love that. Joseph, she's okay. Can't hear out the left ear still. Going to the doctor again tomorrow. And so I don't, just for a regular look, meaning it's not a member requested look. And speaking of membership, one of the perks, the one I love most, is they get to make a request. And I love it because it always takes me out of my comfort zone. I may do something I've never done before, and that helps me grow, you know, in what I do. And so I really do like that. I do know other people, some people, they already know what they want to do. And so they'll just pick different palettes to get the shades or the colors that they want. Whereas me, I'll just pick up a palette and be like, okay, we're going to do this. You know what I mean? And so, yeah. And so that's when I started rethinking like about what is usage. Am I using this palette for a look, or am I just using it for a shadow? You know what I mean? And so it has helped me, and it does motivate me and encourage me, because when I see the usage numbers going up, because y'all know I like my stuff to be used, and when it's not, that's when I'm like, okay, who wants this? I'm decluttering it, kind of thing. And so this is Spellcast Beauty as well. At first I kept saying Swamp of Sorrows. It's called Swamp of Sadness, y'all. This formula, everything in here is so friggin' smooth. Look at these shadows. I freaking love this palette. This looks white, but it's not. I think it's purple. And I see specks in it, but I don't know if it's from this one. This one has pink in it. And I always feel like I use this one for inner corner because I always forget what it looks like. But I do believe it shows up like a purple, a light purple or light lavender. But look at this formula. This is the softest one, as you can tell. But these, y'all, these are so smooth. And if they do still have this on their website, I do recommend it. You will wait a while to get your stuff. I'm just saying. You will wait a while to get your stuff. But when it comes and you use it, you're going to be like, oh, this is that shift that we have probably like 92 times. And I know the number goes up every time I say it, that burgundy, green, brown shift. But it's still just lovely to have in here. But this right here, the formula in this palette, I always really enjoy using this palette because the formula is so freaking smooth. I'm looking at the chat. Eternal Beauties from Notoriously Morbid. And it is, I like how it shows the different colors. Are all of those colors in here? No. Well, let me see. Purple, pink, blue, green. No, some colors ain't in here. Some colors ain't in here. There ain't no blue in here. This this one as well has a very smooth formula and soft. You can see the dips in here. When I first used this palette, I did these two columns for a look, these two for a look, and just these two for a look. So it was nice and vampy and dark. My only disappointment was this is a shimmer red, that's a matte red. They show up exactly the same on me. This one is a shimmer black. You see the sparkles in it. This is a matte black. They show up exactly the same on me. It don't make sense. But other than that, I glitched again. What is happening? But other than that, I really enjoy this palette because of the formula. And I dare say, even though I'm a fan of black, this is my favorite shade because it's like a green gray type thing, and it is so pretty. It is so pretty. But I do really enjoy this palette as well. I just like smooth formulas. And as much as people would talk about Pat McGrath's Celestial Shades, I'm like, y'all can have them chunky monkeys. Y'all can have them chunky monkeys because they're messy. Y'all can have that. Has anyone? Nope, I have not tried the ABH contour sticks. Tanya says yes, it's on the Beauty Bay website on sale. Oh, I see Tanya pulling out her card now. Ike says, hey, sorry. Don't be sorry. We are a multitasking bunch. I would be shocked if some of y'all weren't multitasking. Listening in and looking at chat occasionally. That is okay. I'm just glad you're here. This is Anxiety from Lethal Cosmetics. It's the BYOP. And I have switched it around. Now I have... How many BYOPs? From Lethal, 1, 2, 3. I think this makes 4. And remember at one time I had like 9, and so we did switch it around again. But this is the shade that I was anxious about because I love black-based multi-chromes and dual chromes. And the first time I used this, I was not ready. I used the hour, and I say this every time, so forgive me if you've heard this 19 times. The Hourglass number 3 brush I use when I want to do a wide swipe of color because this covers a lot of space quickly versus the Esom V27, which is when I'll do, one shade here, another shade here, another shade here, another shade here, because it's just a small area, right? I used that Hourglass number 3 brush. I put this on. I was like, oh. And y'all see it's smooth. So it got away from me. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is insane. And I didn't use this palette for like maybe 6 months because I was feeling anxious about it. And so when the members helped me name my BYOPs, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to use this palette again. And then when I used it again, it was fine because I knew what to expect. But I was anxious. And so when they named it Anxiety because I was anxious about using this shade. I did switch it around a lot with other BYOPs and declutter some stuff. And you know what? They're in my Mercari store. My Mercari link is down below. And so this is what we ended up with for this. And so it's not as dark as it was before, the whole entire palette. This is UV Reactive. It shows up nicely. This is UV Reactive. And this is the exact hot pink color of my second cousin's, one of their colors in their cheerleading uniform. But everything in here shows up like really good. I don't foresee me buying anything else from Lethal for a while, and I don't know why. And I think because I have had so many of their BYOPs, it's like they don't have nothing else I want. And I always tended to like their BYOPs more than their pre-made palettes. And so I've learned not to even buy the pre-mades because they would always end up decluttered. UV Reactive means it'll glow under black light. So if I'm at a rave or somewhere, and say that the room is dark and I go near a black light, this will glow. It'll glow. And so will this one. So it reacts to UV light. It'll make it glow. Where everything else on my face might be dark because it's dark in there. But if I have on something UV reactive, it'll be shiny and bright and bold under that lighting. And so indie palettes cost so much. Yeah, and also Lethal is overseas somewhere too. So that's another thing. And paying for shipping. I do really like, I had their blue mascara. No, I still have it. It's not blue, it's white. Y'all, I love this mascara. And it's from Lethal. But I'm like, I'm not buying all these different mascaras. But since then, y'all, we've learned how to make a mascara. I remember we made that yellow one, and it looked good. It looked good. So I'm like, I could just make my own, different color mascaras. But I do like the formula of that, though. And the PAO, ooh, was July 24th last year. I do tend to use mascaras for me until they start to irritate my eyes. But for other people, I am really strict with that. It's interesting, but I would not use something like that. But it's cool. And I bought it not because it was UV reactive. I bought it just because I'm like, oh, that's a pretty color. But I do have other UV reactive stuff for when I do like party makeup and stuff like that. I love that the name CTN came up for this anxiety. Yeah. So I forget which one of you named it that, but I was just like, yeah, because that's what it is. It makes me anxious. Absolutely, Alexandria. This is a beautiful palette. And the formula. Look how smooth everything is. And I have been using it, and it's not messy. You don't see a lot of, shadow around the palette, like around the pans. I loved it. If they have it, I recommend it. You will wait a while to get it. I ain't even going front about that. Color mascara, you use L'Oreal and ColourPop. Yep. I will make my own. And I did it here in the live stream. I'm like, we're going to make this yellow mascara. Y'all, it was nice. And y'all were like, ooh, that's pretty. And it showed up really nice. And I was hoping it was going to work, y'all. Because I'm like, here I am saying this is how we can do this. And I'm going to do this. And what if it don't work? You know what I mean? But just I was glad it didn't work. And it's like, I know it can be done. And the PAO was only 6 months for this. Most mascaras are 3 months. Some are 6 and some are 9. But that was a thing too. Like, do I want to buy more of those mascaras and pay the shipping from over there? Or, go to the drugstore Ulta and buy when maybe they will irritate my lids in 3 months or 6 months. Where I've been using that one over 2 years. And it's still fine. But, yeah, I don't buy a lot of indie either. My lids do not tolerate pressed pigments, and a lot of it does have pressed pigments in it, and so that limits me a lot. You wish 669 back in my life again. I am hopeful. When Beauty Bay site came back up, that renewed my hope, because I was really just like, damn, like I am never. And then I have my 669 dupe palette, which is actually a dupe. So I'm like, I still have it, but I would still get it. I would still get it, the official one. Thank you though, a lot. Yeah, get another round of looks. Oh my gosh, I love that palette. Hello, Spectre Ignorant Person. How are you tonight? If you want to be nice, you can stay. If you're going to be rude, you can just go. And for me, I'm like, why do people stay and watch when they just want to be rude? Like, that doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense. I don't watch stuff that I don't like. I don't, and I have a doctorate degree in psychology, and that is something I will never understand unless the person just wants attention. So for right now, I'm going to ignore you. So, but this is, what was I talking about? Anxiety. Notoriously morbid also. Julia says, I agree. Like, yeah, why are you here? So this is Mary Mean One. I remember when I got this palette. And what you see out here is what you see in here. What you see out here is what you see inside. When I got this palette, I was in a rush to show this palette, because y'all know I was in a rush to do the swatch party. I got like glitters on my face. I never said I don't like this. If anything, I'm laughing at you. It ain't that serious, show. Yeah, you're right. But you know what? Some people do come in here and be complete asshats. And so I was just trying to get a feel for where you were. But I do appreciate you saying that. I appreciate that. Because some people do. And so thank you for clarifying. And you're right, it's really not that serious, but some people do come in and just say really nasty stuff, and I'm like, why are you here? Like, why? It does happen, and it is a shame. I was in a rush to get to the swatch party for this palette because y'all know when I get a new palette, I do a swatch party first, and then I start doing looks. And Christmas was coming up. I glitched again. What is happening? And I knew I wanted to do a Grinch makeup look. And I knew I wanted to use this palette. I'm going to show you. This is why I wanted to use this palette. And that's one of my favorite looks, is that Grinch look. And so I'm like, I need to do this swatch party like as soon as possible so I could use this palette. And I think I used it like 2 days after we did the swatch party. But I'm like, I'm using this palette. And that's one of my favorite looks. This formula in here too is smooth. This one down here gives me a little bit of fallout. That's a pretty shade. Ugh, look at that. And it is black based, which I really like. There's a couple that's a little... This one looks like it... What am I looking at? This one... When I look over here, this is green. That's why I'm like, where am I? When I look over here, it's green. When I look where you are and turn it, is pink. This one gives a little bit of fallout, but... I mean, it's all funny for real. I'm not watching some NBC, the shoot. Oh, okay. And so I do like this palette. So if I want greens, Janessa's favorite color, I know where to go. But I do like this formula in here too. I do like that one too. The next four are Natasha Denonis Xenon palette. The one thing that I still always find strange about this is that online, this one, and this one look like they're black. They're all blue based. Look at these. They are not black. And this one does say black something or other, but even putting it on is still like a deep blue. And I remember when Chick was here, you know, she had looked at Xenon palette online, and she said she didn't get it because she doesn't wear a lot of blacks. But then when she saw mine here, she's like, they're not black, they're blue. I'm like, yeah, I know. But anyway, these are looking washed out on your end, but these are not that pasty in person. They're not that pasty. I have a lot of lights on over here, so I know they're just looking kind of white and gray. But it is a gray-based palette. I love that they have this pink in here. I love that they have this brown in here. I can do without one of these shades because one of them is a topper and it doesn't show up much. But I still do love this palette because what this does, I'm trying to get the glare off. So what this does for me is, it is a pretty palette. What it does for me, excuse me, what it does for me is it motivates me to do something different. When I first got it, my first 5 looks were different, and a few of them were graphic. Some of them was kind of busted, but it was different. It wasn't like the typical, and I don't do the typical transition, crease, outer corner lid shade, you know what I mean? But I did graphic looks with this, and that gave a new life to this palette, not doing the same thing. Because some people were like, oh, I only get 2 looks out of that palette. I said, shit, when I first got it, I did 5, and they were all different. But so if you want something different, you have to do something different. If you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. If you want something different, you gotta do something different. And that's what this palette does for me. It motivates me to do something different so I can get more than 2 looks out of it. But yeah, when I first got it, I knocked out 5 looks and they were all completely different. And so when people are like, oh, I only got 2 looks out of that, I'm like, you need to switch up your game. Hello, Reyes. How are you? What are the red light? Doing my teachers with red. I missed something. You have a lot of palettes, Kathy? I've been trying to reduce my number of palettes. And I remember years ago, I said my sweet spot was in the mid 60s. But then when I hit like the 40s, I'm like, this is good. Like, because then for me, it ensures I use everything on a regular basis. Like, I think now I have 41 shadows. These are 18 I used last month. Excuse me. And so even if I use the other 18 next month, I'll have used all of my palettes within 2 months. And so I just like stuff to be used. But then because there's a lot of formulas I'm not able to use, that limits me. But then I end up buying more of what I can use. You know what I mean? Whew. Oh, you're saying I have a lot of palettes. I got like 41. Excuse me for smacking. Janessa has her LED mask on right now, and it's green. That is Janessa's favorite color, y'all, is green. But yeah, I do like this for the fact that, number one, it is pretty. And number two, it does motivate me and encourage me to do something different. For those masks, yeah, each color has something different because some have like red, blue, green, and then it's like another color. And they all target something different. But I do really like this palette. And I need to get creative with it again and do a graphic look with it. Or a creative look, I should say. You only have 2. Janet's asking Kathy, which 2 do you have? And are we talking about the light masks or something else? Don't remember the names. Then I have to get... Yeah, stay comfortable. Yeah, this lipstick and the interiors is moving. But I know just the line and completely fill in, and that'll be that. That'll take care of that. And it's just the way my lips are shaped. All right, the next one, the Yucca palette. This is my second time having this one. And I'm not going to rearrange it this time, because I know before when I had the Natasha's, I was mixing them. And I'm not mixing them, number one, to encourage me to use what's in the palette. And also, number 2, is easier to tag. Or if somebody says, oh, I like that palette. And I'm like, well, this has like 4 different palettes in it. And I'm going to show you when it does that we didn't use last month. I'm going to pull it now so I don't forget. Like, this palette is such a hodgepodge. It's ridiculous. But I like it. So, yeah. So, I'm not going to mix the newer ones for that purpose. Because it's just easier. It's like, oh, I like that palette. And then they can get it if they want to. And at first, and I remember Colin, his YouTube is Queer Bones, I believe, and he has an olive undertone. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Well, now you're a part of us. Now you're the part of the you guys. Colin, like his bent is, what is this going to look like on olive complexions, right? And so he was saying, like, people were like, why is this green in here? Like, why is that green in here? But you know what? They serve a purpose. Like, this one and this one, they do a lot for this palette. They really do. And even this one doesn't show up really bold on me, but that is a pretty shade. This is a pretty palette. And because it was grungy, gothy, I'm like, yeah. And shout out to Grace. When I saw this, I said, I'm getting that palette. And I've been on, and I'm back to, now that the no-buy is over, I'm back to my perpetual low buy. And so my low buy is pay full price for nothing. Have a code, a discount. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. Discount code, point multiplier event, coupon, something. Nothing full price. Nothing makeup full price. I was going to buy it. And at the time, this was $69. I think they're up to like $72 now for the middies, because we know everything is going up. And I was going to buy it. And then, like, later that day, Grace sent me a 15% off code. I was like, bestie, you done kept me in my perpetual low buy, because I was going to buy it full price, like I was. And there's always 1 or 2 palettes here or there that I'm like, I'm breaking this perpetual low buy for. And this was going to be it. But she saved me with that 15% discount. But I do, just look at this. You know? So we also have Leela. This is my second time having Leela. Tanya has over 200 palettes. We love palettes. Well, Tanya, you need to start doing more videos. Y'all know how I feel about using what we have. Otherwise, it's like, why did I buy it? And I will say there are some palettes, because of how they look, that some people just buy it because they just like the packaging. And that is okay. And so I do know that that is a thing. Me, I like to use it, because then it's like I could have just bought a picture and hung it up on the wall for that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 200 is a lot. Yeah, I kept trying to reduce my number, because I do want to use stuff on a regular basis. But that's just my thing. That's just me. But I do know people who will just buy something just to look at it. And even if they declutter it out of their working collection, they'll put it on display somewhere. They're like, I'm decluttering this from my usage collection, but it's going to go into my display collection. And so and it's a thing. It is a thing for sure. You haven't counted in a long time. Janessa, you probably got like 412 palettes. But for those who are new here, Janessa does very bold makeup. She uses the hell out of her makeup. Like so she has a forever pass from me for how much makeup she has. And the same with Janet. Janet, she posts pictures on Instagram, and she has said one time in the chat that when she opens up a new palette, or one that's, well, new to being used, she'll use it for like every day for like a week straight. And I respect that. And then she may declutter it, or she may not. But she uses them. And so Janet has a forever pass you know, for me as well, for having a lot of stuff, because she uses it and we see it because she's, you know, doing the pictures. And Janessa uses the hell out of makeup. Same time, they're probably cool. Ooh, Joe, you have close to 300. Joe, start doing content. Even if it's just posting on Instagram, even though we would love to see you in a video, though. Or short. I'm not a fan of shorts, but if you did shorts, I would watch them. Wow. And most you have displayed. Yeah, it is a thing. Some people, their background, it's like a whole production thing. If they're doing the look with Pat McGrath, they have all the Pat McGrath stuff in the back. If they're using Natasha Denona, they rearrange and have all Natasha Denona in the back. Like, it is a thing. I appreciate the coordination. I don't have the energy to do that, though. And I don't have a background, you know, just the Asian screen, and then I put a sheet over it, which kept moving when the fan was on. So that's why I put the clips on it, because the sheet kept moving and sliding. So this is as good as it's going to get over here. And this is good compared to how it used to be. I wish it was taller, because you see the different color. I was like, you know what, just look right here. Just look right here. Right here. Just look right there. Jenna says she buys them first and then she uses them. But you'll get to them eventually. Kathy, they don't last forever. Well, not for me with sensitive skin, because sometimes, especially with Natasha, like her cream to powder or creamy matte, like the formula starts to change. And if I keep using it, after a while it'll start irritating my lids. But I do have sensitive skin. But makeup does go bad. It might be a while. It might be a decade, but or the intensity of the color might be different. My mustache area is being disrespectful. Where are we at? Locke says she try and maintain a storage limit for my palettes and up in general. If I won't use it, then no buy or declutter something to make space for it. Yeah. And I refuse to buy more storage, because if I buy more storage, I'm going to fill up storage. What I did purchase, though, was months ago, was this lipstick holder, because I had them in just an acrylic square case, and when I would pick up one, they all fall over. And so even though this is still, like, that's annoying as hell. That noise is like, and y'all like, girl, I know, stop making that noise. But at least if I pick one up, even if it rattles, they all don't fall over. So I did do that. And I don't consider it extra storage, because this holds 24. And so when I had got more lipsticks, I'm like, okay, something else need to go. Just like what Locke was saying, you get rid of something to make room for it. And so these are all of my lipsticks and all of my glosses. So 24, and that's it. That's all that'll fit. What did I get rid of recently? I got rid of something. I got rid of, it was the Sephora Red Desert lipstick I got rid of, because when I swatched it and then I swatched this, it was the exact same color. And I'm like, what? So I did declutter that one the other night. Actually, it was yesterday, because we did the live and I showed y'all the MAC stuff that I purchased. So I did. So I don't have any Sephora ones right now. Like, none. That was the last one standing. And even the red one, I got rid of the red. Why did I get rid of the red? Because I got the, oh, y'all, this was nice. I really like this. So I'm like, if I just want a red, and this is opaque, as they say. They used to just be like, oh, it's so pigmented, now it's opaque. This, even just as it is, this is a lip gloss. Yo, I'm like, you know what? That Sephora one can go. And I do like the Sephora formula, and for the price when they're 30% off, I do think they're worth it. And so I decluttered that one too. So yeah, so 24 lippies, that's all I got. You wish you had a beauty room. I don't, because because then I would just buy more and more stuff. That's how you limit yours. Is Janet to Locke. Alexandria, I'm probably getting close to you. I have a lot of mine on display. They make me happy. Yeah, so it's like artwork in a way. A palette show, that's a great idea. And I do enjoy watching collection videos, because it's just like, oh my god, like they got a lot of stuff. But I'm like, this is so pretty though. Julie has about 14 eyeshadow palettes, and that is perfect. That is perfect. I knew this was eons ago. One person had one palette, and it was the Urban Decay Smoky palette. She panned every damn shade in that palette. That was the only palette that she had. And when she showed it to me, I'm like, damn. But then she's like, it's my only palette. It's the only one that she wanted. And she panned every freaking shade. She had it for a couple of years, though. But I was impressed by that, because I'm just like, ooh. Like, would I ever just have one? No. That ain't even a valid question. No, I would not. That's your dreams out, says Alexandria to Tanya. Beauty room, read and hiding spot to chill alone. Tanya's asking you, Julie, if you have. Okay, you already answered. Okay. I'm doing my makeup. I just love sitting here playing with my face. Even just looking at them or swatching gives me joy. I'm like that too sometimes. And I think somebody else has said something like that before. They were like, when they're feeling down, they'll just go and start swatching their makeup. And all is right in the world. True, there are some that go bad sooner than noted on packaging, and some that still perform past their expiration. Yeah. But I have learned pretty much like which ones for me does it. And even the Martine 669 that I had before, I think it was maybe like 3 years or so. And the period was 24 months. So it was like reaching the 3-year marks. Some of the mattes, the creamy mattes, they were getting crumbly in the 669. And I said, I'm going to still keep using it because I love that palette. And then other shades started irritating my lips. I'm like, okay, I really need to just go ahead and swatch this out. Do my 669 dupe with lethal shades and let it go. And that's what I did. And Natasha's, I already know hers close to 3 years, give or take. The formula starts to change. If I keep using it, then it starts to irritate my eyes. But then I have other stuff that, it might be 4 years. And it's fine. It's always one way or the other. Says Alexandria. Second place is LA Colors. My skin tends to not like, oh, thank you, Kathy. You sent me a floating heart. I did try to go to do drugstore. And after that 3-series collab, a full face of whatever brand drugstore, I'm like, fuck that. I'm like, I cannot. Because a lot of it was irritating my skin. And, if I got it from Ulta, yeah, I can return it. But buying stuff from the drugstore, and then for the price at the time, which was lower than now, because this was like 3-4 years ago, I was just like, I just wasted my money. And between those 3 collabs, collectively, I spent over $300, and the majority of that stuff either went in the trash or I paid shipping to send it to somebody else to use. And I'm like, that was a waste of money. And so that's when I kind of was like, I ain't doing drugstore. NYX lip liners and eyeliners I will use. But other stuff, I'm just like, it was such a waste because my skin did not agree with most of it. You have this UD Smoky. It is not pan. That's because you have more than just that palette. That was her one and only palette. She knew her style, and that's where she stayed. And it looked good on her. Janessa, I like to keep stuff from memory. Yeah. I feel like an amateur makeup historian. Like I said, she can't have a beauty room. It's not in me, just my preference. Yeah, I wouldn't. Julie, oh, you're 62. I keep thinking all y'all are young. And maybe because y'all don't do content, and I don't see what you look like. You have been in love with makeup since you were 16. I didn't even start wearing makeup till I was like 34, I think. I was such a late bloomer. And I don't even know why I decided at that point to start wearing makeup. So this is the Lila palette, y'all. This is what we do, Kathy. We just chit chat all off topic. This is Lila, and it is my second time having Lila. It's not a purple palette. However, if you use this shade in your look or that shade in your look is going to look purple. No matter what else you put around it. No matter what else. But if you just stick like right here, or even just like here, that's a nice neutral row. Then it's not going to be a purple look. But anywhere you put either this one or that one is going to be purple. Which is strange to me because it's like one shadow is not going to make the whole look one thing, but it really does, which is just weird. But I really do like the selection in here. This is a dual chrome. This says it's a dual chrome, but it's not really. It just gets a little lighter, but it still to me look like the same color. Where this one, it does actually turn colors. And I think there's another dual chrome in here somewhere. Oh, this is a dual chrome too. It says, you know what, and it's right. When I look over here, I see gold, but when I look where you are, this is what I see in person. And then it turns pink. It's not that noticeable on the lids though. One of mine is called Naked 3 Urban Decay. I remember thinking, can they get off this naked kick? Naked 1, naked 2, naked 3, and then they had the mini naked palette. I'm just like, and I understand if something works, keep at it, but at some point people were like, okay, we're over it now. And so I do like this. I don't use it a lot though, and I don't know why. And I remember in a collab with, I forget her name, Monica. It was Monica something. We did a collab. How did I remember that? I don't know. And we did a collab with it. And I was saying that my theory on why I didn't use this palette a lot is because I don't match my makeup to my clothes, not intentionally. I don't match my makeup to my clothes. And if I'm wearing a shirt that's, like, say I just pick up a paisley shirt or whatever, I can't just really pick this up and use it because it's not going to look right. And so for people who do match their makeup to their clothes, you know, you'll get dressed and sit down and be like, nah, this ain't going to work. And she was saying in her video, she was like, that's a good point. Like, this is not a palette you can just pick up. Now that I wear a lot of black, like, yeah. But if I'm wearing other stuff or other colors, this is not going to work for that. If you match your makeup to your clothes. But I do really like this palette. And I'm wondering now, like, if I didn't have it, if I would miss it. And I kind of don't think I would because I don't use it that often. And so I'm wondering now, like, And I do have other purples, I'm sure. And so I'm wondering, like, right now, literally, like, do I want to declutter this or not? I love the formula, though. That's the thing with me and Natasha. I love her formulas. The sparkling foiled, I could do without the new ones. But this old school formula from her, I freaking love it. So I'm had to think about that. We're going to use this a couple times in April. Ooh, I just opened this January this year. And the PO is 24 months. So, hi, my name is Dion. I'm a label whore. This tells me open January 2026, PO January 2028. So it has a lot of life in it. But I'm really looking at it like, would I miss it? I really don't think I would. It's very pretty, though, and I love the formula. I'm going to have to really think about that. I'm going to use this a few times in April and see if I still have that question in my mind. Like, do I want to actually keep this or not? Because I really don't think I would miss it. It is pretty, Kathy. It is. Damn, and I just opened it in January. This is March. And I'm already like, Maybe we'll do a giveaway? But we'll see. I'm going to use this at least 3 times. I'm going to systematically use it. I'm going to systematically use it to ensure I use every shade in here. So I don't know if we'll do by columns or what. This is a pretty shade. So maybe we'll just do columns. The only thing with that is these are all metallic, which I have done all metallic looks. I don't mind. I have done all matte looks before. I don't mind. This row just has this one matte, and the top has 3 mattes. This one, and this one. I was going to say do 2 columns, but then you have this outlier over here. Or just use these 2 and maybe 1 or 2 of those shades and then do these 2 and 1 of these. That might be what we'll do. We'll do at least 3 looks with this because I really don't think I would miss it. But it's so freaking new. I had it for 3 months. The hell? I don't think I've ever thought about decluttering something after 3 months. So I'm really kind of like thrown off right now. Like, what? But it's also telling me a lot. Like, yeah, when you turned 16, your mother started selling Amway. Oh, and you were overjoyed when she started having artistry makeup parties, and I was finally allowed to wear makeup. That is awesome. I remember Amway. Oh, you know what? You did say you were 62, because I'm thinking that was a long time ago. I'm 56. I had to get on Janessa. Yeah, I'm talking about you, girl. She would be saying, oh, now that I'm older. And what's Janessa? Like 48, something like that. And I'm like, I'm older than you, though. So if you're talking about you old, what am I, dirt? Like, what? Excuse me? So I'd be like, stop saying you old. Hey, Sharina. This, my 33rd look I did with this one combined with the first time I had this for this month. $287.99 for a new inbox Urban Decay Smoky. No, hell no. I mean, it's pretty, but no. And with all the different formulas and brands and palettes that's out now, you could make one of those. You can do a BYOP for that matter. Something. No, hell no. CoverGirl, Trunk Naked Roses. You're an old soul with old joints. And you know I'm a disabled veteran. My joints be popping and I'm making all kind of noise and snapping. And by the time I got down to the hotel on Thursday, my lower back on the left side, y'all, was cursing me the hell out. I was just like, this is insane. I was just like, I'm in pain somewhere in my body every single day. But when it flares, that's when I'm like, okay, wait, nah, like, what do I need to do? Besides take my medicine, just lay down and stretch out. This right here, this is what the inside looks like. People were like, oh, that looks too chaotic. Okay, listen. Circle Loco in Spanish means crazy circus. What do you think it's going to look like? I freaking love this palette. This to me is so much fun. I can see though why people have problems with it, because most channels seem to do monochromatic light to dark. And so when they see this color story, they're like, what do I do with that? And again, do something different. Come out of your box, do something you didn't do before, do different color placements, do different eyeshadow shapes or something. But if you're really just, this is my style, this is all I'm going to do, then yeah, you're going to be like, I'm not going to use that. I'm not going to buy it. It's chaotic. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, it's really not. Even if you want monochromatic, do a blue, do this one, and these two blues. Well, this is a purple. Use this, and these two. This has a blue leaning to it. This has a purple leaning to it. So you can do a purple look. That right there. If you want to just do an easy red look, this one, pop that somewhere. If you want to do really neutral, okay, take that orange, this one, and this one. These two shades, this is matte, this is metallic. They show up exactly the same on me. They really do. But yeah, so you can do just monochromatic, but what it is also is that you can take these out and rearrange them. Put open up a paper clip, put that in there, or something pointy, and the shadow will pop out. So you can rearrange them. And so some people, hello, Believe, how are you? You wouldn't know what to do with that one. And so they will rearrange it to be monochromatic. And I'm just like, do something different. How can you not? And I know this is me, because this does encourage, to me, this is a fun palette. But I do understand for some people, they're just like, I don't know. And, you know, we have our preferences. We have our styles. You know, we do what we really love to do. You like chaotic agenda. Yeah. The annoys me when brands arrange like shades. I hate that. Monochromatic palettes, to me, all I see is boring. And even how I'm looking at this, and I'm saying, you can do monochromatic. Blue, 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 blue. Red, pink, red, purple, purple, purple. Even though I can look at this and see that, if the palette was arranged that way, that's all I would see. It's just monochromatic and I would be bored. I need to see, you know what I mean? But this, my 33rd look with this month in March. I freaking love this thing. And I love the formula. But yeah, it's, you know, everything's not for everybody. And I do know that. So... And some, what annoys me, Janet, is when someone will rearrange a palette to make it monochromatic. And I'm just like, really though? I have a question. Where my boo thing at? Where my boo thing at? He ain't popped in today. These are my last two BYOPs from MAC. Because remember I had a bunch, and so I did my declutter, rearranged them. This one... These are, 10 of these are new. I wanted to do a fun palette. But now that I'm looking at the fun shades, don't they look like Circle Loco though? Let me hold them up together. I love MAC's formula. I don't care what they say. I love MAC's formula. So let's see here. Okay, they're different enough. Yeah, they're different. They're different. And dare I say, mostly because this one has, well, not counting that one, but these are just like neutral shades. You're proud to be 48. I just wish I didn't feel 87. I hear you, girl. I hear you. So this one, I wanted it to be a party palette. These shades right here. This one is bright as hell. That was from another BYOP from MAC. And so I talked to two of my best Judies, and they named this Trolls Just Want to Have Fun. I'm like, that's a long-ass title. So I just say this is my troll fun palette, because these right here, this is fun. And these just kind of grounded if I want to deepen or whatever. And this does show up on me nice, too. This is in, I think, the Hi-Fi color palette from MAC. And I forget the name of it. But I have it because why? Because my name is Dion, and I'm a label whore. So that shade is called What's the Wi-Fi? I do believe this is in the Hi-Fi color palette from MAC. So this is Trolls Just Want to Have Fun. This right here. And I did that intentionally because I'm like, I just want to have just a fun palette. And my other BYOPs, I mixed them up. And so this is Trolls Just Want to Chill. Because after the party, you need to sit down and chill out. So this is the Trolls Just Need to Chill palette. And it is, as we were just talking about, monochromatic. You can do other things with it though, but I like these enough that I didn't want to get rid of them. And what my struggle was with this palette was I didn't want to get rid of these two grays. I didn't want to get rid of this shimmer gray. One of these is Illuminati. This is Illuminati, a single from Pat McGrath. So Pat's singles do fit in the MAC pans. I didn't want to get rid of this shade, and I did not want to get rid of greens because, you know, but because it was 15 pan, I'm like, okay, we'll just toss these in here too. But so this is the chill palette. So we have our party palette, we have our chill palette, and I don't remember. I was going to say I don't remember when I last used it. I used it this month, girl. That's why it's in this live stream. Sometimes, y'all, I just don't make sense. Did you used to play sports? Janessa says no, it's the big stripper shoes I used to wear. Jump off stages. My knees are bone powder and hope. That's what would get me with Prince in his 6-inch heels when he would be jumping off of them high speakers. The dude, I think he was what, 5'2"? And he's jumping off of like a 20-foot speaker with them heels on. I would be watching him like, what? Like he's gonna have like knee problems later or something. Love your names that you're using your palette. Now, thank you, Kathy. So yeah, I do, just like with my other BYOPs, you know, I'll ask the members, you know, I'll put, like when I did the lethal BYOPs, I put pictures for members only posts and was like, okay, what are we gonna call these? And so that's how we name those. And so yeah, 2 of my members named this one. Trolls Just Want to Have Fun. This one I just named the Chill palette because it's not fun, but it's consistent and easy to use. Max Formula to me just works. It's not messy at all. We're going to talk about this one palette that has like 4 different palettes in it, and then we're going to wrap up the ones I did use last month, which was all the ones you just saw. Yeah, he did. Yeah, because you cannot be jumping off of speakers and hills. And even flats for a while, after a while, it's going to still like mess up your bones. This palette, this is the bronze packaging, but what's in here is bronze, bloom, yucca, and retro glam. Those are the 4 different palettes that these shades are in. And the ones I decluttered are in my Macari store. And so some people, I do have hearts on all of those palettes because the color stories are really pretty. But this is what this looks like now. I'm like, this is really cute, I think. And I put it to where, like, these are all metallics down here. This is the only metallic in this row. And I don't know what I was thinking with this one. I don't know. But I really like this palette. And I enjoy using it. But again, if somebody's like, oh my gosh, that's pretty, where can I get it? Well, you can't because it's 4 different palettes in here. And again, that's why I didn't mix up my replacements when I renewed or re-upped on my other Natasha palettes, because you know it does make a difference to some people. Or if some of my videos people find by a search, they might be looking for Natasha Denona Yucca palette, Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette, so that's what they want to see. And so if they click the video and they see this, they're like, what the hell? And it does have Retro Glam in here, but this isn't that palette, you know what I mean? So just for ease of people finding it and for playlist that I have stuff in, I didn't rearrange the new ones. But this is a hodgepodge, and I actually really like it. And it does like encourage me to do stuff because it is such a different looking palette. But so that one we're going to put away. So we're going to recap what we did use last month. Janessa and I still need to do our cryptic palette. Sneaky asked Janessa, because when I saw the cryptic palette, I wanted that palette. I was on a no-buy. And quite a few people have messaged me on Instagram like, are you going to get it? And they were sending me this. And I'm like, I'm on a no-buy. I can't get it right now. And I did double check, make sure it was eyeshadows and not eyeshadows and pressed pigments. And then one day, Janessa texted me, oh man, it seems like I ordered 2 of the cryptic palettes. I guess I'll have to send one to you. And I'm like, sneaky ass, thank you. And so we're going to do a collab with it. We're just both hella busy, and she's coming off of doing productions on top of her day job and all of that stuff, and I'm just all over the place. But I'm looking at it right now. I'm excited to get into it. We did a swatch party, so now it's just to use it. And thank you for Janessa for being patient, because she's had it for a while and she has not done looks with it yet. And so I do appreciate that. So let's recap. We have our Troll Needs to Chill BYOP from MAC, Trolls just want to have fun. Y'all, this is just fun. Look at these two first rows, right? Speaking of fun, Natasha Denona Circle Logo. I just wish these two oranges didn't show up the same. Because, like, why are you here? Why? Leela, I don't think Leela's going to make it. We are going to use it at least 3 times this month. Use all the shades. But I'm really thinking it ain't going to make it. And so we will probably do a giveaway for this. Because it being so new, like, I don't want to put it in Macquarie because I'm going to have to put it as used. And it's like 3 months old. So I'd rather just give it away. If that makes sense. I'd rather give it away than sell it just because it's new. What? Usually when they do, people want to make more money. It ain't all about the money. The Yucca palette. This color story. I want to cry. Xenon. Oh my god. I don't even have words. I don't have words. Anxiety, Lethal BYOP. This is just pretty. This green is bold. That is that a no, it's not a dual chrome. Is it? No, it just gets brighter. But no. Sons of Ray is doing a video. I just got a notification. Mary Mean one. This is a nice palette. Yeah, it is mostly green. So what? Who cares? I like green. And these other shades, these right here, and these, it does add a lot to this palette, including this one. So only half of it is green if you really count the shades. But this formula, oh my gosh, this formula is nice. Really like it. Swamp of Sorrow, well, let's come down. Eternal Beauties. Again, my only disappointment is the 2 reds show up the same and the 2 blacks show up the same. So I'm like, it could have been something else there that I could have had another color, but you know. But I do really like it though. The formula. The formula. The formula. Again, I do have a 15% off code down below. If you order anything from them, you will wait a while. You will wait a while. Somebody... They do a short, or at least a short video, at least once a week on their YouTube channel. Yes, the postal machine was broken this weekend, but I'm going to mail you the... I forgot all about that, Janessa. Thank you. And then we can... Okay, yeah. Do I collab? Carrie. So it's only a 3-person team. Carrie is the owner. Thomas is her husband. I learned all of this just from hearing them, you know, in videos and live streams. And then there's Marissa. So usually it's Thomas that does like a short video like once a week, and it's usually something about the economy and small indie businesses, you know, that type of thing. But those of us who are familiar with indie, we know that they struggle. We, especially now the tariffs and all of that stuff, we know that it's a struggle to get, you know, the ingredients and all of that. But anyway, so she so actually for the first time that I've noticed, Carrie did a video, and I'm like, that must be Carrie, because I know what Marissa looks like, because she's the one on Instagram that does the swatches. That's Marissa. Thomas is the only dude, so that has to be Thomas. They try to remain incognito, because under one of his Instagrams, I was put, or under one of the videos, I put, are you Thomas? They didn't answer. But they answer everybody who leaves a comment, but they didn't answer. So I'm like, okay, they trying to act like we can't figure out. There's only 3 of y'all on the team. It's only 3 of y'all on the team. We're going to figure out who is who, right? But anyway, so I thought that was funny. But yeah, he didn't answer. But I'm like, you're the only dude there, so you have to be Thomas. It's like in my mind. And so when I saw Carrie, I'm like, okay, I haven't seen her before, so that must be Carrie. So she was saying, you know, thanking, you know, their people for, well, us consumers, you know, for the patience and, you know, hanging in there and still supporting the brand and blah, 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 because they know that, you know, times have been getting somewhat longer than they used to be, and some stuff now they're doing pre-order. And so, you know, she's explaining, you know, all of this in the video and thanking, you know, the supporters of the brand. And at the time, there was one comment. And the comment, because y'all know I be thinking it, but I be trying to, and I do get PR from them, so I be trying to just hold it in. And so I'm learning everything I feel doesn't need to be said. And I thank a certain person, you know who you are, for that. And also, I do makeup professionally, so I don't want to be on here wilding out, and thinking somebody gonna be like, "Hey, I want to book you for a gig." Like, that's not a good look. So I am changing. I'm still me, as you see, but changing how I present information, or if I share information, because my YouTube link is on my business cards. And sometimes I'll be somewhere and they'll be like, oh, I saw your video. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, I hope it was a good one. Like, did I curse anybody out? Like, what happened? And so I do think about those things. But it was one comment. And the comment was, y'all. Okay, let me stop laughing. The comment was something like, I appreciate you coming on here to say this. I just wish y'all were more transparent about why stuff is taking longer instead of doing a video like this after the fact when somebody's been waiting like 6 months to get their product. I was like, oh snap. That wasn't word for word, but it was, that's what it meant. And I was like, oh. And that might be why it was one comment, because sometimes they used to come out and say this, that, and then it just kind of just fell off. And then so it's like, okay, now you want to say this. It is what? But I read that, I was cracking up. Like, that's what we're all thinking. That's what we're all thinking. Yeah. So Swamp of Sadness. This is from them as well. I love this palette. I love this palette. I think this is one they actually sent to me. The formula in here is so smooth. And then they went through a time where they discontinued a lot of palettes because they wanted to decrease the inventory. But then they still come out with something new like every 2 or 3 weeks. And so I'm like, that's not how that works. Like, if because you're still, they do create a lot, and I do understand it. If you have a creative mind and you like to create, you're going to keep creating. Like, that's just who you are. So I do get it. But to discontinue a lot of stuff because you want to reduce the offering so that you can send out stuff quicker, well, that's not going to work if you're still making something new like every 3 or 4. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Natasha Denona Dramatic Palette. I don't know. I don't have thoughts of decluttering this like I do with Leela. And y'all like, girl, but Leela is so much more colorful. I know, make it make sense. I just need to, and again, I said I'm still working on accepting it for what it is. It's just that half the shades don't show up on me. And so maybe I need to rethink this too. But what has me stuck are these shades right here. And I don't just want to keep it for the black. I have blacks. I have the Mario black that I did pan. I have other blacks. I have black in my MAC BYOPs. I have 2 blacks, you know, in this one. I have blacks. This is really pretty, but I don't want to be like, oh, I'm just keeping it for that, when there may be someone out there who would use this entire palette, but it does come in handy, as I was saying, for certain types of looks. If it's a there, not there look, a natural look, a neutral look, yeah, this is the one I pull for, because it has exactly what I need for that look. But it's not pleasurable for me to use this palette. That's what it is. Like, it's not fun. Like Circle Loco, I'm like, ooh, and this I'm like, you know what I mean? So even like how I feel is just different. But it does come in handy when I'm doing certain looks. So I'm gonna continue working on changing my perspective. But it does seem weird to question Leela, but not that one. I know I'm weird. I know me, and I accept my issues. I highly recommend the MAC Connecting Color palettes. This is the third one. What you see on the outside is what you see on the inside. Highly recommend them when there's a 20% off code that includes Prestige at Ulta. This is what that looks like, y'all. These are nice. And even though it may look like they're monochromatic, like they're really not. Depending on how you do your makeup. If you do transition, crease, then yeah, it's all gonna look the same. But I do highly recommend these. And so Future Flames, I did one eye with this and one eye with Sunlit Seduction from Pat McGrath. And people thought this eye was Pat McGrath. I'm like, nah, y'all, that's the MAC one. They were like, what? Yeah, right here. The formula's good. It's not messy. The colors show up. And now, after almost 3 years, you know, chrome yellow is showing up. That is just so, excuse me, freaking weird. But this is hi-fi color. And I like that each one of these are distinct. You have this fun color one, you have, you know, red based, and then you have the neutral based. But again, they're not just straight monochromatic palettes. I am sweating. I can't wait to hear about it because you love the color story. Oh, the Fantasy Cosmetica. I do like the looks of their palette, but they use pressed pigments. Because some of their palettes, I'd be like, ooh. And then I go to the website, I'm like, damn. But then I don't usually gravitate to 9-pan palettes. I tend to not use them that often. But some of them I would have definitely purchased because the color story and the packaging was just really amazing. Yeah, but that's one of the brands that my skin is like, bitch, no, we ain't using that. Dark Side of the Rainbow, because y'all know I like darkness. In a way, it looks basic, but it's a good basic. These metallics are nice, and the mattes do show up. So that's that one. This is from Notoriously Morbid Spellcast Beauty. Neon Garden. This is just a lot of fun. If I want something bright, I know where to go. These show up really nice. These metallics show up nice. And again, all of these show up, and the pinks don't make me look dusty. Sometimes lighter tones, pastel tones, make me look dusty, and these don't. And I really appreciate that. We got 3 more. Bog Witch, Notoriously Morbid. I have a lot of Notoriously Morbid. This one is just looking funky. Looks like it wants to fall out the pan. I don't even know why it looks like that, and I have not pressed it in because I'm thinking I might touch it, it'll fall apart. This formula in here, that smooth formula that I love. Oh my gosh. This right here is bright. And so is that other light green in here. Makeup by Mario, where we pan the black. My first troll play look. Troll play is what I call when I'm just doing whatever to my face, whether it's a design or a style or whatever. And I wanted to try shading, and I'm like, And so troll play look is when I'm just doing something creative to my face. And my first troll play look, troll play episode number 1, I think I'm up to like 80 now, episode 80. And I have a playlist for troll play too, if you want to see some of the looks I did. And I used this palette to do shading. Yo, I love that look. I was like, ooh, I said, I don't think this is what Mario intended, how his palette to be used. That look, y'all, I was like, ooh. So my first shading look, my first troll play look was with this palette. I really dig it. And Pat McGrath, Gilded Nirvana. This is just pretty. And I think I might start layering these shades more over other stuff, because this really did make a difference. And again, I'm not always about the high shine shimmer shimmer, but when something turns out that way, I'm like, ooh. So this is what they're talking about. So these are all the palettes that I used in March. 18 palettes in March. The last thing I'll say is before we go is, for those who are new here, thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you chatting, because I don't know who's here unless they speak. And so I do appreciate that. And thank you to those new people who subscribe. I do live streams at least 3 times a week, and in between live streams there are videos that go up on my channel. I do think the lives are more funner though, because of the interaction. And also for every palette, almost every palette I've showed you, I have a playlist for. Natasha Denona Lila palette. The MAC ones, I think that one says MAC BYOP in limited edition. Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes. Each Natasha has her own playlist, and Notoriously Morbid brand, they have their own playlist for each palette, except for the Spellcast Beauty side, because those are usually the 8 pans, and so those are in one playlist. But I did that on purpose so that it's easy to find what you want. Like if somebody was like, oh wow, like Bog Witch, I have a Notoriously Morbid Bog Witch palette. You can see all the looks that I've done with this palette. And so I did that on purpose to make it easy to find what you want to watch, if you want to watch certain looks with whatever particular palette, just to make it easier to do that. And so that pin look, I was surprised, but then I'm like, that is what I go to most. I'd be like, oh, I need a black Mario. I need to just get a single black, even though I ended up putting them in the BYOPs of MAC. I was surprised, and then I used it again, the hole got bigger. Of course it's going to get bigger, right? But I was just like, why they got a hole in it? And I'm looking at other shadows, looking all neglected. These two, you can barely even tell that I use them. But I have, yeah, that black, that's a really good black. That's a good black. Natasha makes good blacks. MAC makes carbon, that's a good black. And even the blacks in Eternal Beauty. So I got blacks. The Eternal Beauties, both the blacks in there, you know, one is shimmer, one's metallic. No, one's metallic, one is matte. They show up the same on me, but those are good blacks. And I don't know why it's so hard to make a good black. Like sometimes blacks come out gray or they're just whatever. But I have enough blacks. But it's just something, a quick pickup. and use that. And so that's going to be it for tonight, y'all. Oh my gosh, we've been here an hour and 44 minutes talking about palettes. Hey, Chief Big Eagle, how are you? You know what? Janessa J. Champagne, she does drag makeup. So you can click on her name, and she's she's the second comment above you. Yeah, she does drag makeup, and it is amazing. So if that's what you want to see, check her out. We did do a collab. Janessa and I we do quite a few every year. But one of our collabs last year, we switched styles. And so she was doing my style of makeup, and I was to do her style of makeup. Yo, I was freaking the fuck out. I was freaking out. And I'm like, oh, she can nail mine because she does all the things. But she was kind of like, okay, she does this, like, da 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 da. And y'all know she shaves her brows. Her eyebrows, she did her eyebrows. They look like real hair. I'm like, how you do that? Show me how to do that again. But yeah, the style swap. Yeah, it was fun, but I really was freaking out because I wanted to do you justice. You know what I mean? And so I was just like, oh my God, like I was really freaking out. But it looked so good, and it was so much fun. And we got a good reception on Instagram with those looks too. They were like, oh my gosh, look at y'all. Da, 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 da. But yeah, it was fun, but deep down I was freaking out because your makeup is amazing, and I didn't want to do some half crap, booty crack looking stuff. Because I'm like, I wanted to do you justice. Because if I'm doing your look, I want to do you justice. But I really was freaking out. And things that you were saying, I'm like, wow, she's kind of just like intense too with, okay, she does this, let me do that. She does that. And I didn't expect that. So I'm like, okay, I'm not freaking out by myself. But it was a lot of fun. And that look is somewhere in my troll play playlist. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. We should do that again sometime this year. Yeah, thank you, Chief Big Eagle. But definitely check out Janessa's channel. Drag is what they do, and it's been like over 2 decades. So she is not new to the game at all, and her makeup is fabulous. So yo, on that note, Chief Big Eagle, don't forget to subscribe. We're here live streams at least 3 times a week, and videos go up on days when live streams don't. Thank you, Julie. I just love talking about makeup, and I see why some of y'all said, even though it's the same palette, still do the roundup every month. Which I appreciate because it was a lot of fun. And so we will be here, not tomorrow. Oh, thank you. Please do. Please do. And comment so she knows that you were there. She's as fun as I am. Like, yeah, she reads all the comments too and responds to people. It's a lot of fun. And she does quite a few lives throughout the week too as well, which is really fun. We'll be back here Thursday. I'm going to talk to as few people as possible tomorrow because I just hate the fucking April Fool's games. I hate it. We're adults here, okay? We're not children running around just playing pranks. I do have an appointment at the VA hospital, so I'm hoping everybody's acting sensible. And my appointment is with my new therapist. So if she do something half crack, y'all, I'm done. Like, this is not the day. This no. Yep, so we're going to go. Thank you to our new people. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your interaction. Those who are overseas in the future, thank you for letting us know how it is. And we'll be here Thursday. And I forget what we're doing, but we will be here Thursday live stream. It already is scheduled. And so on that note, y'all, as always, self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.